Deck the halls with 3-yard quilts.
La 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 la.
It's Christmas in July.
Keep watching.
Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And Fran Morgan with Fabric Cafe.
I'm so excited it's July.
And we have our very first Christmas video.
Oh, I can't wait to get started.
Have you started your list?
No.
Oh, well, get your pen and paper ready because we've got some great quilts for you.
And here's the first one.
This one is called Wonderland, and it is such a fun quilt, and we have this fabric. So let's put it on the table and talk about this cute little pinwheel that's right up here. I love it.
Fran, you know, I think this has got to be one of my favorites, the way that you did the pinwheel. I'm going to pull the quilt up just a little bit because I want this to be the object of our attention for a moment. It is so cute. I love the way that you used all 3 colors in that one pinwheel.
Yes, now this is a really interesting quilt. Maybe we should get the cropping tool so everyone can see how this is made.
Okay, let's do that. But maybe I should let you crop it since you're the mother of this design.
This is such an easy one. I'm just going to lay them on here for you.
Well, look how easy that is.
That's the block. So simple.
That is so cute. And look, here's the next one right here. Okay, I just had a little bit of prompting so that I can see that block now.
But it's so simple, and it's kind of like one of those optical illusion quilts where you can't quite see what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's all basically the same block making 2 colorways, and you put them together this way, and it's great.
It is, because every one of the corners just gets turned until it comes together and makes a pinwheel. That is so cute. I love it. I love it. So this is going to be our number 1 fabric. And as you know, we like to have our focal fabric to be in the number 1 spot because when Fran and I design, we like to showcase that number 1. So we were going to put it in the quilt in such a way that it's very, very eye-catching.
Yes.
So fabric number 1 are these adorable peace doves. Oh, I think that's so sweet.
It is.
And then we have the fabric number 2, and who doesn't love paisleys? I love paisleys, and that's going to go in our number 2 spot. So it's kind of cool how you're alternating the 1 and the 2, but as you can see, the number 1 fabric gets the most attention. It's drawing your eye to that spot. And then our number 3, which looks absolutely gorgeous, is going to be that accent color that kind of holds it all together. And if you look real closely, you can see how the green is in both of these 1 and 2. So that's a good way to pick out your fabric.
Darling. Darling.
Now this one is called Joyful Joyful 8022487. Wonderland is the pattern from the book Make It Christmas. And an alternate pattern would be Pinwheel plus 1.
So our next quilt is Picture Perfect. And you know, this is one of our favorites at Fabric Cafe. It's one of our go-tos because it has this great rectangular block and then the alternate block is bordered. And just love it, it really shines, your fabric really shines in this quilt. So let's put it on the table and check out the great fabric we have. So love this fabric. I love the rich tones.
I love it too.
And it's got just a little bit of gold on it, which is super.
What a perfect pattern for this.
Yes.
To really show it off.
Totally agree. And I think part of the reason why it's the perfect fabric for this pattern, or pattern for this fabric, I don't know, either way you want to go, is because this is a larger scale print with our Christmas ornaments on it. It really will shine in this bigger block, which I think is perfect. So our number 2, is this not gorgeous? This is a kind of a nice soft white with that metallic gold scroll work, which is just so lovely. And it picks up the gold in our number 1. That is going to be our alternate block here, so it's going to really shine.
I like that. I like this a lot in that number 2 spot.
You know, because it's simple for a number 2, but it's not boring. And that's what we always shoot for. We don't want it to be too...
Well, the other thing is, in this particular quilt, the number 2 spot gets a little more play. So it's always good to have a little more interest when you have a little bit more play going on.
That is such an excellent point. So then our number 3, we're kind of repeating that beautiful scroll work. A little bit of a speckled gold in this, which I love. And this is going to be bordering this number 2, which is gorgeous. But of course, it's also on the border out here, so it's going to give us a really nice framework. And of course, the reds are perfect. Lots of different tones of red in the number 3, lots of wonderful shaded tones of red in our number 1. It just fits perfectly.
Well, you know that Christmas list you asked if I'd started, I think I'm going to start now because I'm going to make this one for me.
I really like this one too.
I like that one
and you know,
too.
I didn't point this out on our focus, but the background of our number one ever so faintly has like tree branches in it. So you can kind of see that it's like ornaments on a tree.
Oh yeah, and the twinkle lights.
Yes!
Yes, I like
love
that.
It is so great.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I love dissecting fabric.
Yeah.
It's so much
Cutting
fun.
it, it's just beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so be sure and write this number down, 8023218. Our kit is called Christmas Baubles, and it is in the Picture Perfect pattern from the Quick and Easy book.
Now this quilt is called Engagement. And whenever I designed this one, somebody I knew was getting married at the time, and I thought they were getting married at Christmas time, and I thought, this looks like a diamond ring. I mean, wouldn't you like to have a rock that size? Woo-hoo-hoo. So this particular one got the name Engagement. So let's put that up on the table. You know, it really is fun naming things whenever we're designing. Sometimes we get stumped, and sometimes it'll just pop in our head, so we like it. How many babies do we have now? Who knows? I don't know. I think we may be pushing 200 designs.
So many.
But I did the engagement pattern, and I really do like it. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of movement, and add all of these great Christmas fabrics. It's wonderful. So our number one is going to go here. And it has those pretty little pine cones, and we framed it with the number two, which has the red birds on there, the cardinals.
So cute, yes.
And then we have our snowflakes on a dark green, which is mimicking those fir trees.
Yes.
And that's going to go in the number three. So it really does go together nicely.
And you know, you mentioned this one time before that quilts are such a great wedding gift for couples that are getting married in the winter, because so often a new family starting with a wedding, they don't have Christmas decorations. And what a great thing to do. And engagement made me think of that, because people get engaged in December too, or they get married in December. What a perfect gift for a new couple.
It would be. And I have to say that one of my students in a class that I was doing one time told me that she did that. She said, I always make a Christmas quilt for the newlyweds, even if they get married in March or in June.
Oh.
I still give them a Christmas quilt, because I know that they're going to have their first Christmas without a lot of decor.
Yep, that's so true.
So we have Poinsettia Stroll, 8022532. The engagement is the pattern, and Quilts on the Double is the book that's in. An alternate pattern would be Urban Chic.
Okay, so our next quilt is Engagement. Yes, we just saw this. But we're going to show it to you again, because I want to make the point that any 3 yards of fabric will work in any 3-yard pattern. And this is a great example. Now, we just saw a very darling quilt, the engagement quilt made in those poinsettias and pine cones and little red birds. This one has beautiful trees, and I've got some additional trees that I want to show you, so we're going to put this on the table so that you can see any 3 yards will work in any 3-yard pattern. Okay, I know that it stumped me just for a moment, because we're showing the same quilt twice, but I think it's such a beautiful example of how any 3 yards will work in any 3-yard pattern.
Yeah, and it's like different taste or different styles of fabric will still work in that same pattern and look gorgeous.
Look gorgeous, and this is gorgeous. So we have these beautiful trees, and they're kind of that watercolor feel, almost like someone has come in and hand painted this fabric. It
Absolutely.
is just beautiful. And it has just a little bit of a dot on there that looks like snowfall. And this is our focus fabric, and it's going to go in a block here as well as on the border. And then our number 2 fabric, once again, kind of that similar watercolor feel, and it's got the greens and the blues with it, which I love because it matches this so well. And it is going to go, of course, in our half square triangles here and on the border of our main block here. And then our number 3, this is so pretty.
It is so pretty.
Oh my goodness, and you can see, once again, kind of that watercolor feel. The darker blue picks up the darker blue in the trees, and that will be in our half square triangles here, creating our nice big diamond. And our border here, well, you know, girls love diamonds, you know that, right? We can't help ourselves. And this is beautiful. I really think It's going to be lovely in this pattern.
Absolutely.
So the kit information on this one, it is 8023219. It is called Winter Wonderland, and the pattern is Engagement from our book Quilts on the Double, and an alternate pattern that we'll be suggesting is Town Square.
Now this is the perfect quilt for procrastinators. It's called Pretty Simple because it goes together so fast and you get to showcase wonderful fabric. And let's put it on the table and talk about that. I can remember my childhood, my Christmases. I can remember peppermints. I just remember peppermints every Christmas. And we did the tradition where the kids had to go to bed, and even after we knew there was no such thing as a Santa, we had to go to bed and pretend the next morning. And Mama would always say, you don't have to go to sleep, but you have to go to bed. And you know good and well we all went to sleep eventually because she and Daddy would put the tree up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they would put the tree up, and then we always, every Christmas, instead of stockings, they got a box, like a fruit came in,
like a crate.
the crate box, and she would wrap it with wrapping paper. I think a lot of this was probably in their closet or something. But in there would be nuts and fruit and peppermint candies.
Oh, wow.
And it was just the most delightful thing. Now, I don't remember a lot of things that I got for Christmas, but I always remembered we ate out of that box for a couple of weeks.
What a treat.
Cracking all those Brazil nuts and the walnuts and all of that. So, okay, little side story about my memories that are coming back.
I love it.
But the peppermint is going to be the perfect fabric for this quilt. We're going to put that where those snowmen are, and then we're going to alternate it with this particular fabric with the pretty snowflakes. And see, how easy can you get? 2 big blocks, and then you sash it.
Oh my goodness,
and it just goes together so well whenever you sash it with this great red. So that's going to go here. Now, just to show you how precious this one turns out, we have an image on the screen. And look at that. Isn't that fun?
It is fun. And I love the way that the red really grounds it and separates those 2 prints, because it kind of makes both prints a focus print.
And anytime you have 2 focus fabrics, it is good to give yourself a little break in between. And so we thought it would be fun to show you this same quilt in a couple of other images. Now, the first one here that we're looking at is called Picture Perfect, and that one is going to be great for doing the same thing, but rather than sashing, we just sashed 1 block.
Okay.
So super easy to do, still a super easy quilt to make, but it does give you that division so that you have 2 busy fabrics, but you put them together with a sashing and they look super. Now the next one that we want to show you is called So Fast. What do you think about So Fast?
I love So Fast, and I think So Fast is another one of those quilts that is so easy to put together and you don't realize it, but it creates an interesting border around the blocks because you think it's going to be a lot harder than it is, and it's not. It's actually so easy.
So very easy.
And it looks great in all of these patterns. Now, I want you guys to be sure and subscribe to our channel and ring that little bell, because we have a special video coming up where we're going to show the same kit in lots of different images, so you're not going to want to miss that. And it's so much fun when we do that, guys. I just love it, and it's very inspiring.
We even enjoy it. We buy the fabric usually for a specific pattern, but oh my, whenever we get to playing around with our program,
get a little carried away.
And I think this is one of those cases. Which one do we want to put this in and show them? Well, let's just show them all 3. So we want you to know it's a great way to use those double focus fabrics. Just remember, you want to put a little rest in there in between the prints. Now this one is called Peppermint Party. It's 8022461. Pretty Simple is the pattern, and it's in the book Quilt Favorites.
So our next quilt is Twinkles, and this one is so much fun because I love this block right here. It's got so much movement, it just feels like it's twirling, and then a nice big focus fabric block here. So darling, got some great fabric. Mom, I think this has got to be one of my favorite Christmas quilts that you've done because I love this block. I don't even know the name of this block, so
I called it Twinkles. Do you know the name
it's
of
the
that
Donna
block?
block.
I start designing and I don't usually know the name of a block necessarily. And sometimes, if you know what it is.
Let us know. I would love to hear, but it's really darling in this quilt.
I know. It's cute.
It's really cute. So this is, and it's just darling. Okay, so this is some great poinsettia fabric. Love that we've got our scroll work on here again, some pine cones and holly. This is going to be beautiful in our focus block right here, and it's every other one. Then in our Fran Donna block, we've got our number 2 with more scroll work that picks this up beautifully. And you know how I love keeping the continuity of a print in a quilt. That is going to go everywhere the white is here and on the border. And then our number 3 for a nice little pop on our block, we've got our green, which will go everywhere the green is here. And it's just, this block in and of itself has so much movement, and it's so playful and it's so fun that it's perfect for a Christmas quilt. But this is a very traditional kind of fabric, but I think it just works. I just love it.
I agree with you. And I think it's really kind of cool because whenever I designed this and we made this quilt, we actually used the print here and the solid color back here, but now we're doing it just the opposite. We're doing the print here, and I think that is going to be really cool.
That is such a good point, and it just comes back to any 3 yards will work in any 3-yard pattern.
And the fact that you're using your light and your dark
Yes.
and your focus pattern, it just works.
It works. Good job. All right, let's get the kit info on this. It is called Holiday Bouquet. The number is 8023220. The pattern is Twinkles from our book Make It Christmas, and we're suggesting the alternate of Friendship Star. What is it about Christmas in July that's so much fun?
I think for me, it's that reliving those joyous times from my childhood. They were such special times for us.
Yeah, and it's so much excitement and hope for the next 6 months.
That's right. And 6 months is a nice long time to remember those things. But how about you? Why do you get excited about Christmas in July?
We'd love to hear. It's Fran Morgan
And Donna Robertson. Thanks for joining us.